I'm Sean O'Kearney. I'm Secretary General of the Renew Europe Group in the European Committee of the Regions. Integration of migrants is inherently a task for a local community, the mayor, the local authorities, the host population, the host citizens. But there is a European dimension to it. There's a European single market, which needs people to move around from one member state to another, and therefore the integration of migrants to be able to function in that single market is an essential objective for the European Union. And the European Union has a migration policy, and much of the focus of the European migration policy is on reducing the flow of migrants, tackling and combating the organized criminals who traffic in people, and managing the situation at the borders. The mayors of Europe, and in particular of the Renew Europe political family, are arguing and calling for another pillar of the European migration policy, which is the integration pillar. Because even though integration primarily happens at the local level, it is vital and essential that mayors know that they have the support of the European level and the national leaders to enact successful integration policies, but also to have the support to exchange best practice and to identify best practice across the 27 member states. Successful integration requires, first of all, two sides of one coin. That is, on the one hand, that those newcomers who are arriving to a local community inside the European Union, they know on the one hand where they are coming and what is expected of them in this local community, but also as part of the European Union, and equally, what are their rights. So on the one hand, they need to receive information on their rights. What is it that they are able to benefit from when they arrive, which might be different from their country of origin. But the other side of the coin is that they know what their responsibilities are, that they understand what is expected of them, but equally what they are expected not to do. Certain customs from their country of origin might not be acceptable to our European society. It's also about knowing the laws and the rule of law in the host community. But equally, the host population also has responsibilities to reach out to newcomers and accept that the European Union needs migration for the future, and that the working together, there can be cohesive society by, on the one hand, the migrants knowing where they're arriving and what they have to achieve, and secondly, the host population accommodating that. With these two elements, we have seen in local communities across Europe that those two essential sides of the same coin lead to successful integration policies. Europe, according to all population projections, is facing a very risky situation in coming years. And that is that now in this decade, the population of the European Union is plateauing and is expected to start decreasing between now and 2050, while other continents are continuing to increase in population. That means two things. The population flows outwards of those continents is going to continue. And secondly, it also means that maintaining competitiveness and economic growth in the European Union is going to be a very difficult challenge if our population is decreasing. Population can increase either through increase in fertility rate, but the fertility rate in the European Union is very, very low, and it is falling in other continents as well, but has not crossed the critical 1.9 figure as it has in the European Union. Increasing from 1.5 to 1.9 is extremely difficult and not likely to happen in coming years. Therefore, the only other possible source is net immigration into the European Union. Therefore, we need a positive approach and a positive narrative to immigration, and that requires a successful approach to integration, or rather successful integration policies, but equally a positive narrative about integration. By accepting that we need immigrants in order to remain competitive, and by putting energy and effort at all levels of government into successful integration policies, a real integration pillar of the European migration policy, we can ensure that integration contributes to European competitiveness.